Yellowstone. Every main character's fate, ranked from worst to best. Yellowstone revealed most characters' fates during the second half of its final season, and some got a far better ending than others. Taylor Sheridan's neo-western opened Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2 with the revelation that John Dutton, i.e. Kevin Costner, had died shortly before his impeachment hearing began. This story was necessary because Costner exited Yellowstone ahead of these final batches of episodes, but it divided the fan base, especially because it was not as central to the final season as it might have been. The majority of each episode was devoted to other stories, often featuring the 6666 Ranch in Texas or other tragic events at the titular ranch. Nevertheless, the finale has been praised for how it wrapped everything up, revealing every Yellowstone character's fate and offering a satisfying ending to the Dutton family's saga, even though some characters' endings felt rushed. Colby's Denham Richards' death in Yellowstone Season 5, Episode 12 was entirely unnecessary. He was trampled to death by an out-of-control horse in the stable while attempting to rescue Carter, Finn Little, who had gotten trapped with a horse while attempting to feed it. Carter ultimately shot the horse after Colby was already dead, but Colby could have done that in the first place rather than trying to play the hero. This unnecessary death was made even more heartbreaking by the fact that Colby had told Teeter, Jennifer Landon, that he loved her for the first time shortly before his death. Thus, instead of the happy ending that both of these longtime characters deserved, Colby died for no good reason, and Teeter was forced to go to Texas and work for Travis, Taylor Sheridan. Unsurprisingly, after John's death, a grieving Beth, Kelly Riley, ordered Summer, Piper Parabo, the environmental protester that John had befriended and vetted, to leave Montana and never return. Beth never had any love for Summer, who represented everything she hated about outsiders who came to the area and interfered in the cowboy lifestyle without understanding or caring about it. So it was satisfying that she got to take out her rage on this interloper who had aggravated her far too many times. Still, Summer was not an important enough character for anyone to care about her fate. While it was great that Beth got to unleash her trademark rage on this annoying woman, it would have been far better for her to spend the season getting her revenge on Jamie than waste time with this insignificant character, especially given that there were only 6 episodes in Yellowstone's final season. Although characters like Walker, Ryan Bingham, had been branded and thus were expected to be loyal to the Yellowstone, no matter what they thought of John's decisions, when the ranch was sold, they all said they got other jobs and few of them were given a proper ending. Walker was one of the luckier ones, as he got back together with his girlfriend, Laramie Hassie Harrison, and they decided to tour the country in her camper. Walker implied he might eventually make it to the 6666 in Texas, but this ending was too ambiguous. After being branded and forced to remain at the Yellowstone, despite wanting to leave, Walker deserved a clearer trajectory for his future career path. The discovery that Yellowstone's John Dutton is dead should have been a powerful story that drove all of the action forward during the final set of episodes. Unfortunately, this strong exit story was not given the attention it deserved, and instead, it was given a far lower priority than flashbacks to the past or tragedies like Colby's death. Thus, it did not have nearly the impact it should have, and scenes related to the aftermath of John's death felt rushed and disjointed. One egregious example occurred when Colby was killed. Beth had found out that Jamie was going to be arrested soon and told Case she would confront him so that he didn't spill any other Dutton family secrets. However, Beth's next scene involved her helping Lloyd pack Colby's things after his death, and the confrontation with Jamie did not happen for another 3 episodes. If Colby hadn't died, Teeter would have gotten the happy ending she deserved. She and Colby were in love, and had finally admitted it to each other, and they could have gotten the type of ending that Ryan or Walker got with their partners. Instead, Teeter decided that Montana was too full of memories and instead went to Texas to work for Travis. While this ending could lead to her involvement in a spin-off involving the 6666 Ranch, it was far less than she deserved. Taylor Sheridan's Yellowstone galloped into our hearts with grit, grandeur, and gut-wrenching family feuds. Now, as the dust begins to settle around the Dutton Ranch, it's time to reflect on where every main character landed in the sprawling neo-Western saga. Some found peace, others met ruin. Here's a ranked list, from tragic to triumphant, of the fates of Yellowstone's central players. 11. Jamie Dutton, the Shakespearean tragedy. Jamie's fate is nothing short of soul-crushing. Once the adopted Dutton with political ambition, Jamie spiraled from power-hungry lawyer to the family's ultimate scapegoat. Manipulated, betrayed, and ultimately discarded, his final fate, left to rot in disgrace or possibly meet an untimely end, is the worst. His desperate bid for independence ended with his metaphorical execution, orchestrated by his sister. He died a Dutton in name, but never in heart. 10. Lee Dutton, the forgotten son. Lee's story is often overlooked because it ends so early. The eldest Dutton son, loyal to the ranch and the legacy, dies in a shootout in the very first season. His fate sets the tone for Yellowstone's brutality, marking the beginning of the family's war to keep the land. While noble, his death was senseless, a pawn in a never-ending land dispute. The ranch's most loyal soldier never got to see the war through. 9. Garrett Randall, the Phantom of Vengeance. Garrett, Jamie's biological father, only entered the picture late in the game, but his presence left deep scars. Released from prison after serving time for murdering Jamie's mother, he attempted to fill his son's head with anti-Dutton rhetoric. His fate was sealed the moment he tried to strike at the heart of the Yellowstone Empire. Beth saw to his end, with Jamie forced to clean up the mess. He died in obscurity, the embodiment of bitterness. 8. Dan Jenkins, the outsider's misstep. Dan Jenkins tried to bring corporate polish to cowboy country and paid the price. His flashy suits and big city ways clashed with the blood and dirt ethics of the Yellowstone. While he made a temporary alliance with the Duttons, it wasn't enough to save him. His end came in brutal fashion, strung up and left as a warning. He was a man playing a dangerous game without understanding the rules. 7. Monica Dutton, the heart torn in two. Monica, Case's wife, always straddled two worlds, native tradition and the Dutton legacy. Her fate is bittersweet. Though she survives the series, her journey is marked by trauma, moral conflict, and grief, particularly after the loss of her second child. She yearns for peace but finds only compromise. Monica walks away from the ranch, not with triumph, but with a sense of exhausted resilience. Her fate is to live, but never entirely heal. 6. Thomas Rainwater, the noble warrior. Rainwater remains one of the most enigmatic characters in Yellowstone. As chief of the Broken Rock Reservation, he fights for his people, his land, and a legacy far older than the Duttons. Though he never achieves his dream of reclaiming the Yellowstone, he doesn't fall either. Rainwater survives with his integrity intact, respected by allies and enemies alike. His fate is neither victory nor defeat. It's the long, patient endurance of a man who plays the long game.